Okay, hi guys. How are you doing today? Hope you're fine. Today we'll be having quotations and dialogue. So I'll just share the screen. So first off, you log in using the aprilstudent.com with your email and password. Then you click on your name, language arts. We will go to grade 7, quotations and dialogue. Okay, so we have one lesson which is formatting, quotations, and dialogue. So we will go through that. Okay, so I'll just explain everything that we need to know about quotations and dialogue. So first off, you use quotation marks around a direct quotation from a speaker or a written source. All right. So if you have a direct quotation from a speaker or a written source, then you use a quotation mark. A direct quotation can be written in several ways, so it can be written in different ways. The quotation can come after the speaker's tag. So take notes. Direct quotation from a speaker or written source can be written in several ways. The quotation can come from the speaker. Now we have the speaker declared. You have a comma after declared, and it says, "We can succeed by working together." Now look at the quotation. Okay, so take notes that your end marks, most of your end marks, or in fact all your end marks, needs to be inside the quotation. You do not need to have your end mark after or outside the quotation. So it says that the speaker declared, "We can succeed by working together." Now, this is the first way that you can write the direct quotation, okay? And then he demanded, "Who is there?" So now the end mark in the first one is the period and it was inside to end the sentence. And then this is "who is there?" It's a question, right? And the end mark, which is a question mark, is inside the quotation mark. Now use a comma to separate the speaker's tag from the quotation and capitalize the first word of the quotation. So, of course, now we have the speaker's tag, which is the speaker declared, he demanded. So, after the speaker's tag, you need to add a comma to separate the speaker's tag and the quotation. And what you do next is that you capitalize the first letter in the quotation. Just like how you capitalize letters once you need to make a sentence, you do the same thing with the speaker's tag and the quotation. Okay? So, the quotation can come before the speaker's tag. So now in this situation, the quotation can come after the speaker's tag. No, now in the first one, the quotation came after the speaker's tag. The speaker's tag was in front, which says the speaker declared, he demanded. So the quotation mark comes after. Now the next one says that the quotation can come before the speaker's tag. So you can have a situation whereby the quotation will come before the speaker's tag. Okay? Now, we can succeed by working together, the speaker declared. We can succeed by working together, the speaker declared. So now you see that the quotation still has the end mark, okay, which is the period, the commas, and every other thing. So all the punctuations are inside, it doesn't like have it outside, it has it inside the quotation. So that's what you need to take note of whenever you're writing. You have to make sure that whatever the end mark will be, if the end mark is question mark, period, comma, it will be inside the quotation mark. Now it says the quotation can come before the speaker's tag. In this situation, it came before the speaker's tag because this is the speaker's tag here. The speaker declared. So if the quotation will come before the speaker's tag, you do not have to capitalize the speaker's tag because you can see that the day here is not capitalized. And who is there? He demanded. He is not capitalized. So unless the quotation ends with a question mark or exclamation point separated from the speaker's tag with a comma. So when the quotation comes before the speaker's tag, just like this, the quotation came before the speaker's tag. If it happens this way, once you have the end mark as the question mark or exclamation point, you leave it at exclamation and question mark. But if the end mark is going to be a period, then you need to change it to a comma. Okay, so you cannot have a period in the quotation when the quotation comes before the speaking tag. You can have a period if it's coming after, right? Like in the first one, the quotation comes after the speaker's tag, so we end the sentence with a period inside the quotation. But if ever the quotation will come before the speaker's tag, just like this one, you have to change every other period that comes with the sentence to comma. Okay, so just like this, if the quotation comes with question mark or an exclamation point, then that's okay, you don't have to change it. But if it comes with a period, then you have to change it. As long as the um sentence comes with a period, yeah, before the speaker's tag, you change it to a comma. Now, do not capitalize the speaker's tag unless it begins with a proper noun or the pronoun I. So, you do not capitalize the speaker's noun, that's speaker's tag, that's what I have said. Look at it. If it begins with a proper noun, sure, you can capitalize, or a pronoun I. But if it just begins with the regular words, regular sentences, you do not capitalize it. Just like he demanded, the speaker declared. Okay, they were not capitalized. Okay, you only capitalize now here if the quotation comes after the speaker tag. So there's a difference between the quotation coming after the speaker's tag and the quotation before the speaker's tag. Okay, so we've done before and after. Now moving on, we have the quotation can be interrupted by the speaker's tag. Okay, now, quotations can be interrupted by the speaker's tag, meaning that the speaker's tag can be in between two quotations. Okay, just like this, we can succeed. There's a comma here. The speaker declared by working together. Remember, if it is ending, you have to put your period in the quotation point and mark. But if it's starting just like this, you have to change it to a comma. So quotations can be interrupted by speaker's tag An example of the speaker's tag interruption is this: we can succeed by, okay, we can succeed, the speaker declared, by working together. Okay, so that is the difference. Now use comma to separate the speaker tag from the quotation. We have the comma here. We have comma in this quotation, comma after the speaker's tag. Do not capitalize the second part of the quotation. Yes, you will not capitalize the second part because it's just like this one here when we said that the quotation can come before the speaker's tag or after. So you do not capitalize unless it's a proper noun or a pronoun I. But by working together, there's no point to capitalize it. Okay. So I hope that you all understand what we're doing so far. Then commas and period also go inside closing quotation marks. Yes, that is what I have said for the end marks, right? Which is the comma and period. You put comma and period. You use period especially when the quotation is ending the sentence. But if the quotation is starting the sentence, you use a comma. Okay? You cannot use a period if the quotation is the one starting the sentence. So commas and period always go inside closing quotation. If you put your quotation outside, that means your sentence is incorrect. It's wrong. Okay. So it always needs to go inside the quotation mark. Now, question marks and exclamation points should go inside only when they are part of the quotation. Okay, so question marks and exclamation point will go inside when they are part of the question. For example, when we're saying, what is your name? Okay, and you have what is your name, you're asking a question, right? So and you want to put it in quotation. Of course, question mark, it is part of when you ask someone what is your name, because if you say what is your name without question mark, then it is incorrect. So just like that, if it's part of the sentence, you add your question mark inside the quotation. So what is your name? Of course, it will, the question mark will go in the quotation. Now we have who is there. Who is there? He demanded. Now, who is there? The question mark is important because you're asking a question. You're saying who's there. You don't have an idea who it is. So, of course, the question mark is very important. Then, he demanded, who is there? So, even if the quotation is the one ending the sentence, just like this one, even if it's ending the sentence, make sure you include your question mark into the quotation. Okay. Here, the question mark is part of the quotation. So place it inside the closing quotation mark. No additional comma or period is needed. So when you have a question mark, it's already a punctuation. Okay? It's already a punctuation. So you do not need to add anything special or separate. Okay? Yeah. So let me see. Okay, so we will go into the examples, explain the examples before we continue. Now, use okay, it says correct and any errors in capitalization or punctuation, your answers should be a single sentence. So this is it here. Service, correct the sentence. So you need to correct this sentence. Service to others, Muhammad Ali claimed. is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. So now in this sentence, you have the speaker's tag interrupting the quotation. Okay, so the speaker's tag is interrupting the quotation. Okay, and then let me see. Okay, you place it inside. Okay, so this is the correct sentence. Maybe when we start the test, we can see the wrong part, but it says period should always go inside closing quotation. So in the main question, I think this period here after it was outside. So take notes that period should go outside. And remember that once you have the separated quotations, you do not capitalize, okay, after the speaker's tag for this one. And then he said he paused and listened. Had he really heard someone reply? There's no one here. So we have the question mark after. Okay, there's no one here. Now the question mark here is not part of this sentence. So place it outside the closing quotation mark. No addition period is needed. Now the question mark here was not part of the there's no one here. So it was not included. On the other hand, who is there had the question mark needed in the quotation because it balances the sentence or the question. So let's see. We have happiness is a perfume you cannot pour on others without getting a few drops on yourself. Mused Ralph Waldo Emerson. Now, comma should always go inside the closing quotation. So maybe in the real question, the comma was omitted, or maybe the comma was outside. So take notes that the comma would be inside the quotation, just like this, okay? Then next one, astronaut Sally Ride remarked, "All adventures, especially into new territory, are scary." Period should always go inside closing quotation. So this is a perfect sentence. Everything is arranged. Okay, let's look at little more examples and then we go to the test. So, some more. Poet Maya Angelou advised, be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. Period should go inside the quotation. Be a rainbow in someone else's life. All right. So that's how we should go about this. We will go to the test now, answer some few questions together. Correct any error in capitalization or punctuation. Your answer should be a single sentence. Okay? If we can accept our ecological responsibilities now, future generations will be grateful that we took care of the earth, concluded the speaker. Now, in these two sentences, the comma in the first one is inside and then the comma is outside. Okay? Now, let's say that we click on the second one. Of course, you will get it wrong because I said the comma needs to be inside. Okay, but we clicked on this one. Now, if ever you make a mistake, you click on the wrong answer, you can just scroll down like this and read it again. Okay, you don't have to start all over. You can just go down. It has the explanation down here and it tells you why you got it wrong and what should be the correct answer next time. So that's it. Um, So like it says, make sure that all your end marks are into or inside the quotation, just like this one. Okay. Now let's move on to the next. Correct any errors in capitalization. Although some people may consider dandelions to be noxious weeds, Britney Muse, I think they are lovely. Okay, so although some people will consider dandelions to be noxious weeds, Britney Muse, I think they are lovely. So look at the first sentence. Period is outside, and the period needs to be inside, right? And like I said, when you have a pronoun with I, then just like this, I think they are lovely. I is a pronoun, right? So you capitalize I. So that was what was done here. It was capitalized because it's I and it's the pronoun there. So some people may consider dandelions to be a noxious weeds. Yeah, so the second one is the right answer. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. The anthropologist Margaret Mead declared. So, which is the right one here? This one, of course, because the second one, the comma is outside. So, the first one is the right answer. You always know you have learned something well, Leslie said, when you can teach it to somebody else. In the first one, here is the comma, it is outside the quotation. And of course, the comma needs to be inside the quotation. So if it is not inside the quotation, then it is wrong. It wasn't until I had an apartment of my own that I learned to be self reliant, my father admitted. Self reliance. The comma is supposed to be in the quotation, but it is outside in the first, so you need to fix that and put it inside. Okay? So if you can listen, if you can hear me, tell me if you have any questions on the chat. If you have any questions, you can send it on the chat as we continue this, okay? So we look at these two sentences, what is wrong? Okay, the second one has the period outside, so it should be inside. Okay, so at the 1855 Illinois Republican State Convention, Abraham Lincoln pronounced, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." So, a house divided against itself cannot stand. All right, so this one. Promise you will write to me as soon as you get there. Now, after there, we have the comma, and the first one it is outside. So, promise you will write to me as soon as you get there, implored Stanley. Okay, so Theodore Roosevelt mused, "Far and away, the best price that life offers is the." Okay, so the period is outside here, so it should be inside. Okay, so that's it for the quotations and dialogue. So you can ask me any questions. And also for this, you have about 21 questions left. So you have to try to complete it. If you've not done the test, so you complete this test and then make sure that you finish it. If you do not understand how to do the test, you can as well watch this live stream again when we're done, and then you will figure out the right way to answer this. So for now, I give it up for asking questions from quotations and dialogue. So if you have any, you can ask me any questions before we end. So if you can see my screen, drop in the chat box any questions. I'll be here to answer your questions. So just send on the chat if ever you have any questions, and then I will answer. And I will also make some examples for quotations and dialogue before we end. So that will be like the last thing we will do. So if you have any, you can ask. 2 more minutes for asking of the questions. And then after that, we will make some sentences, and then that's it. Okay, so let's make the sentences since you all have no questions. We make the sentences and then we will end for today. So first sentence I will give a sentence with exclamation because we didn't see any. Okay, so you can be serious, cried Janelle. So this now has an exclamation point, because usually when you're using exclamation, and when you have exclamation, it's just showing like, or expressing a stronger feelings. Okay, that's why we have many like the exclamation points. So I'll give some more examples. Okay, so this is another example with the speaker's tag first and then the quotation after. And this one had the quotation first and then the speaker's tag. So these are some of the examples. Then let me see. Um I'll give one examples that is separated. Um, then okay, so we have three examples. You can be serious. The one with the exclamation, cried Janelle. Martin said, I'm going over to Jennifer's house for a few days. Once said Messi, my family rode a train to the Philippines. So these are examples for quotations and dialogue. Okay, so that's literally everything I have explained. If ever that you have to do a writing task, make sure that you, if you have to put anything in quotations, make sure you follow these steps. Write it like this, and then it's gonna be correct. Okay, so give I will give few more minutes for questions, and then if you do not have any, I'll end, and that's goodbye. See you next time. But if you have any, you can just leave your questions and I will explain to you. Okay, so I guess that will be it for today. If since you all have no questions, I'm guessing that you understood. So if you have any problem, just make sure that you watch the um video all over again, and then you can understand, and make sure you complete the test, okay, for quotations and dialogue. So I'll end now and see you all next time. Bye.